Now before I start the previews for tough trait characters, guys, of course we're going to be doing another giveaway. There's a giveaway for the fast and strong. If you have missed it, you can go back and easily enter. I'm going to be drawing all of the winners at the same time in early December. More on info on that to follow, but you should just follow the instructions on how to enter. They'll be partway through the video and it's pretty straightforward. Just make sure you write it exactly as you see it on the screen and you are entered. I will try and reply to people who get it wrong, but sometimes I will miss that. There are a lot of comments on these videos, over 500 on the ones before, so make sure you just look at the screen, follow the instructions as I say them. It's pretty straightforward. Best of luck if you enter. Now on to the video. Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Gold Mythic Tough Trait Limit Break 3 upgrades, just like we did the previews for the strong characters, just like we did the previews for the fast characters. It's going to be tough this time around. There are 24 characters to preview, and we're going to start things off with Gold Mythic Yumiko. As you can see visually, she is going to look a lot more like her left hand side art. She's got the binoculars around her neck now. I think that's basically the new thing that got added. Her weapon does look really cool. I like it. I like her visuals quite a lot. Is she going to get a rush upgrade? Queen of Chaos? It is not going to get upgraded, so it's going to be hit and run. And she's going to get an extra turn on the camouflage to herself, so it's going to be going from a 2-turn to a 3-turn camouflage. Not really that big a deal. I guess it could help in certain game modes, but I don't really think it's going to be too fantastic. It's going to be maybe a little bit annoying to face on Conquest and Challenge Run, just in terms of you're using AoE characters and stuff like that. She will have a passive upgrade then, I would assume, and she is going to get Dazed and Confused 2. When attacking targets with a Dazed status, she gets 20 crit bonus. This stats with the initial 20 crit bonus, so she's going to get an extra 40 crit. This does mean that she's more likely to hit her confounding, more likely to hit rampage attacks, that sort of thing, against characters with Daze. So maybe that's something to note. But I don't think she's had too spectacular upgrades here. But she isn't that bad at controller. But I think most of the controllers early on just didn't really have enough going for them. If you team her up with other characters that have Daze on their signature moves, which there are some, maybe it's going to be more beneficial. Now we have another Rosita. This is going to be the tough version. And visually again, she looks a lot like her art. I will go through her kit to see if she gets any boosts. She is going to get a boost to her rush. It's going to get a 50% damage boost. She is a control character. This is not a great upgrade. She isn't that great a character. She kind of gets, you know, overshadowed by Gold Mythic Raso because of the stun power of Raso compared to Rosita here. And her last upgrade is going to be on her passive, which is going to be a 25% increase to the damage bonus from the Cutthroat specialist skill, and that's going to stack with the initial bonus. So it should be a, I'm guessing, 50% bonus overall. 50% bonus overall. There we go. Cutthroat expert. I mean, it's not terrible. That's not terrible. But the rest of our kit really doesn't do much in the way of damage. That would have been nicer on someone who is like an actual proper damage dealer. This character's just kind of like spread too thinly. Control, bit of damage here. You know, not really the greatest control either. So, yeah. Rosita gets some upgrades. This is going to be her final look at Limit Break 3. But she's not going to get any upgrades to the main reason you'd want to use her, which is her stun capabilities. Next up we have Gold Mythic Princess. Visually you can see how she looks here. She's got the goggles, she's got the spear on her back, she's got everything going for her that you can see on the left hand side. Is she going to get a rush increase? She is. She's going to get a 20% damage per attack boost. She attacks 4 times, so she's going to get an 80% boost overall. This isn't too terrible, but it could have obviously been a lot higher. I believe if we think back to Michonne 2000, she got a 50% damage boost per attack at Limit Break 2, so it definitely could have been more powerful. Does she get a signature move upgrade? She does, so she gets 15 crit up, which is probably the worst part of her signature move, honestly. She just gets an extra bit of crit. It goes from 25 to 40, and that means she should probably not get a boost on her passives, and she definitely could have got a boost on her passives. She could have got Honor Roll Expert 2 in terms of the amount of bonuses she's going to get from Honor Roll, but it's not going to be the case. She's going to get mainly damage bonus on her rush, not too much else. Gold Mythic Herhsel is going to be next, and this is a character that could have had potential, but that signature move, we're going to see it, it's probably still going to be a ridiculous amount of turns to get that off. I think he gets the rabbits added to his belt. We'll check out his rush. He gets 1 turn of healing, so it's 5 teammates for 15% of the max HP for 4 turns. This isn't, you know, that terrible, honestly, but you're going to have a problem with this in things like Conquest, Challenge Run, especially if you're trying to beat teams with Infection. Just continuous heal almost. He has got a reasonably fast rush at 66 AP, and he can be, I guess, fairly tanky on those sort of stages. His signature move is still going to be a turn 4 initial cooldown. Don't know what was going through the heads of when this was made. Basically, this is obviously unusable compared to all the other characters that are around. And then a 3-turn cooldown. It is a decent signature move, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that's not the greatest, let's be honest. So he should get a passive upgrade, and it is going to be Beyond the Grave 2. When taken out, heal all teammates by 10% of their max HP, and all teammates get 10% bonus HP. And that's going to stack with the initial, so it'll be 10% max HP and it'll be 20% max HP and 20% bonus HP total. So again, not too bad if you are facing this guy in things like Challenge Run and stuff like that. It's going to be problematic because he's going to give some nice big heals to his teammates, but it's not too ridiculous at the same time. It's not going to be something that I think is going to push Herhsel into the realms of usability for like us as players. But in Conquest and Challenge Run, it might be a bit annoying to face. Gold Mythic Harlan is going to get his helmet. I think this is new Limit Break 3. I'm not 100% certain. He does always, no, he's always looked cool on the left-hand side. Don't think too many people thought otherwise, but now he's going to get the full look. I'm going to see if he gets a rush upgrade. He gets 10% healing boost on his rush, so 60% for 2 turns to 2 teammates. It's not terrible, not terrible. He's getting a boost as a medic to the heals. He's not going to get a signature move upgrade. And lastly, his rush upgrade is going to be Clean Living 2. When this character starts their turn, if this character has no debilitating effects, 50% chance to gain 20 AP. That means that it stacks with the first half, and it should be 100% chance to gain 20 AP. Let me just double check. There we go. Clean Living. When this character starts their turn, if this character has no debilitating effects, 100% chance to gain 20 AP. Again, more of a problem in things like Challenge Run and Conquest. Harlan can be pretty tanky. Let's be honest, he can be a pretty tanky character, and he can be a bit difficult to deal with. And the extra AP means extra healing. It can potentially work against him, where he, you know, his signature move is quite powerful because it's a cleanse, and if you're trying to build a certain attack style when it comes to Conquest or Challenge Run stages, that can be frustrating. But a lot of the time you don't really want his rush to go off because it's quite a nice big heal. Gold Mythic Frost is quite a tanky guy. Let's be honest, he's quite a tanky guy. We'll check out his skills and we'll see if he gets a boost at Limit Break 3. He does. He gets a 10% main boost on his rush, so he deals 70% of his damage in main, and that isn't actually terrible. That isn't actually terrible. I think long term you could potentially build teams that, you know, are going to be dealing things like maim, be it via HP or in this case via damage. Challenge Run is going to get harder and harder and harder, and Frost might come out of the woodwork. I have used him once or twice, so that isn't terrible, honestly. It could have been a lot worse. Is he going to get a signature move upgrade? He is not, so his signature move is all done. Lastly, he's going to get a passive upgrade, and it is Fearlessness 2. When taking damage from an adrenaline rush, reduce that damage by 10%. I mean, that's not too bad for a tank. He's going to stack that up to 20%, I guess. Let's have a little look. When taking damage from an adrenaline rush, reduce that damage by 20%. I think that's a weapon upgrade, so he's basically getting a weapon upgrade that reduces incoming damage for free on his passives. Well, not for free for military supplies, but on his passives. And that's not too terrible at all for a tank. And he is a very tanky guy. He's got really good base stats compared to a lot of tanks. And generally speaking, you can get his HP and defense stats up really nice and high. And, you know, tough characters have pretty decent weapons, you know. Impair on defense, bonus HP. It's not too terrible. Gold Mythic Andrea, the OG. I think a lot of people have got their fingers crossed for this one, as we do see the visuals of Andrea fully upgraded. I'm not sure too much what's changed since Limit Break 2. Maybe some extra sort of accessories on the belts and stuff like that. If we look at the upgrade to the rush, is she going to get one? She is going to get 100% damage, and that means that her rush is now going to do 800% damage. and an extra 200% conditional damage if the character is backline, so, or back row should I say. So 800% damage, very much like the proper old school 5-star character that also had 800% damage. So she's going to get a buff to her rush output, which is actually pretty interesting. We'll check out her signature move. She's not going to get a boost here, which I think most people are reasonably happy with, because the boost that she got so far were kind of a little bit all over the place. She's going to get a passive upgrade. Is it going to be anything nice? When killing a target, 30% chance to gain 100% AP. So that's going to be blood begets blood. When killing a target, 60% chance to gain 100% AP. I've had this proc like 3 times in a row at 30%, so 60% obviously is a lot higher. It is a lot higher. I think most people will be reasonably happy with this. It does mean that she's got a good chance of getting a first turn rush off. If you manage to finish off a target with her, you could get the 100% AP proc and just rush someone else. This isn't actually too bad at all. Now we have Gold Mythic Alice, and she is one of the harder attack leaders to come by, but she isn't too bad at all. Visually, I think, again, she's kind of just got more stuff and more accessories on her. If we check out her skills, we're going to check out her Adrenaline Rush. She's not going to get any boost there. She's going to be remained at Limit Break 2 max upgrade. Her signature move is going to get a -1 cooldown, and that's not too bad. The initial cooldown is pretty bad, though. Turn 3. I think you would have liked to have seen that be a turn 2. So if the Limit Break 3 was -1 cooldown and -1 initial cooldown, just like the grade 2 was, I think that would have been probably the most ideal. Let's see what passive upgrade she gets. I think if I remember rightly, she has a lot of things that boost her teammates. Whenever a teammate is revived, this character and all adjacent get 20% attack for 2 turns. I think that's going to be 40% attack. Yeah, it is. Look at that one. Back with the Vengeance. Whenever a teammate is revived, this character and all adjacent get 40% attack for 2 turns. That's actually not too bad, and it does counter the fact that she potentially is going to be in a team without strong characters and no strong attacks. And a lot of times someone can just be hard focused in the first 1 or 2 turns. Alice pops off her rush, picks them up, big bonus to all the teammates. Those rushes are ready too. Much better damage output. So I think this is a pretty nice upgrade for Alice herself. Gold Mythic Abraham is looking pretty beefy. I think those rockets, those rocket propelled grenades that you see just sort of strapped to him, are the new sort of visual upgrade. He does look a lot beefier now. And we'll check out what boost he got. I hope he got a signature move upgrade. I'm guessing he won't have. 50% damage on his rushes. Okay, I guess. It isn't really why you have him. I think you want him for his specialist skill and some of his passives. We're going to check out his signature move, and it isn't going to get an initial cooldown change to 2, so it's going to be hard for him to get that rush off quickly because he's not getting enough AP because of no early signature move. But so it is what it is when it comes to his signature move there. And we're going to see the Adrenaline Rush is going to get Pyromaniac 2. When this character starts their turn, 15% chance for all burn and bleed effects on the enemy team to be extended by 1 turn. This happens regardless if he attacks them. As long as the enemies have it, there's a 30% total chance all burn and bleed. Not just like 1 burn, not just 1 bleed, like not one of the either, all of it on the entire team could be extended by 1 turn. That's actually really powerful for certain characters. I'm not sure if it will work against characters that only have 1 turn bleed. For instance, if you have a character that does a 1 turn burn or a 1 turn bleed, I think Ty has one in his passives that burns someone for 1 turn. That would wear out before it gets to Abraham's turn, so he won't be able to extend anything that has only got 1 turn left. But this could work. He could have a nice little duo with Zachary, for instance, where he could potentially just extend it by 1 turn in the first turn. And then make it last 3 turns instead of 2. So yeah, not too bad at all. Now we're getting on to the characters that are released post-Conquest, and it is going to be Gold Mythic Mirabelle as the first. I think we get this thing on her back that's brand new. I always think it looks like a poster holder. It looks so strange. But or like a mortar or something like that. I'm not 100% certain. If we just check out her rush upgrade, she is going to get +1 attack down and defense down target. So she now targets 5 enemies with the defense down and attack down. That's actually not too bad. I think most people will be pretty happy with that. Just having that one random character that it didn't attack would sometimes be a little bit frustrating. It was barely noticeable, but now it's going to be obviously not noticeable at all because you're going to be targeting everybody. She does not get a signature move upgrade, so she should get a passive upgrade. I'm going to be interested to see what she gets here. And she gets Adaptive Defender. When attacked, another 20% chance one other teammate gets a Guardian Shield. And I believe that is a 35%. It is a 35% chance total. If we Adaptive Defender, there we go. When attacked, 35% chance one other teammate gets a Guardian Shield. And it can proc quite a lot. And she seems to be a target a lot of the time on Conquest and stuff. So this is actually pretty useful. I don't think she can give the Guardian Shield to herself. So it's not like she can stop the dogpiling that she'll have off of the enemy AI. But if you make her tanky enough, she could potentially just Guardian Shield the entire team for free. And then when she attacks herself the next turn, she'll give her Guardian Shield to herself. And that'll be nice. Now it's Raso, and visually he gets a bin bag on his back. Not the kind of bag you'd expect. It's got a grenade randomly on it as well. Very interesting. So that's the full visual upgrades for Gold Mythic Raso. We're going to see if he gets a boost to his rush. He is. He's going to get a stun target. So up to 3 enemies get stunned for 2 turns. 3 for 2 is really powerful. Who else has 3 for 2? I think it is Martinez has 3 for 2 on Confuse. And he got that at Limit Break too. So this is obviously great. This is going to be great for Conquest. I think Raso is one of the best controllers for Conquest in certain team setups. And this rush is just nuts, honestly. 3 characters getting stunned. Very nice indeed. I don't think he's going to get a signature move upgrade because it's just already so powerful. 0 turn cooldown. You know, it's really nice. I like that quite a lot. What's he going to get for a Mythic passive skill upgrade? He's going to get Defense Booster 2. When this character starts their turn, this character gets 15% defense for 1 turn. And that is based, his bleed on his rush is based off of his defense. And I believe that's what's that going to be, 30% total? Yeah, when this character starts their turn, this character gets 30% defense for 1 turn. Now, this won't stack with other defense sources. So just be aware, if you have like 3 alert characters and an alert buffs weapon, he will still only get 30% defense in that case. Now here we have Gold Mythic Aiko, and I think she's just got a lot more leaves on her visual upgrade for LB3. I honestly don't know. I haven't counted the leaves beforehand, but I'm not sure. I think she's just got a lot more leaves. Maybe the hood. I don't notice the hood on my character LB1, but it could be there. It could be there. We're going to check out her Adrenaline Rush. It's not going to get an upgrade, so she should get an upgrade on her signature move, and it's going to get a starting cooldown reduction, so it's going to be a turn 1, and this isn't actually too bad. A defense down off of turn 1, it does a reasonable amount of damage as well, 200%. This isn't actually too bad at all. 25% defense down if you team her up with the right characters. For instance, Andrea attacking someone with 25% defense down, more likely to proc, you know, actually take that character out and proc a specialist skill for the follow-up, and then with that 60% boost on Andrea, could potentially just get a first turn rush on someone else. So yeah, that's actually not too shabby at all. We'll check out the Adrenaline Rush and sorry, the passive skill, should I say. And it's Empowering Shot 2. When making a critical hit, heal one teammate by 15% of their max HP. So I think that's 30% total. It is indeed 30% total. Where does it say that? Down the bottom. Empowering Shot. When making a critical hit, heal one teammate by 30% of their max HP. Aiko hasn't actually had that bad upgrades. I use her, or at least I used to use her quite a lot as my conquest leader just for the wave clear teams, and this is kind of nice. It's just giving a bit of HP, boosting some other people, defense down. It isn't terrible. Now Gold Mythic Ty is now my current wave clear leader in conquest, and he does the job very nicely. And he's actually pretty decent for some conquest boss stages because of, you know, the fact he has variation on the kind of damage he has. Burn, bleed, and infection. You can see the visuals. He's very much like the guy on the left hand side now. Red hair, backpack, everything. Full on flamethrower. You see the full deal. We're going to see what he gets as a boost. He's going to get a 25% infection boost on his rush. Honestly, I think this is great. 25% was a little bit too low, but 50% is nice. And the fact that he has heal reduction on his kit as well when he does a basic attack, he can actually stop the amount of healing that someone gets. Now, he could also get a boost to that. We'll see. Unless he gets a signature move boost, he's definitely going to get a passive boost. And his passive boost is going to be deal burn damage equal to 15% of this character's attack to one enemy for 1 turn when an enemy heals, and that's going to stack for the with the first part of burn baby burn, and that's going to be a 30% burn whenever anyone heals. That's actually not too bad. It's going to be that 1 turn, and this is the scenario I was talking about before with Abraham, where Abraham's not going to be able to extend this, unfortunately, unless someone else extends it first. That can work. For instance, you could have a fast character on the team. They could extend this by 1 turn with a weapon, because there's an extension weapon, and then Abraham could extend it with his passive after that. But anyway, 30% is nice. For me, I've had this go up to like, 15k damage, so that's quite a hefty boost, and because he's the leader, he's generally going to have a lot of attack stat. Now, Gold Mythic Ash seemingly gets a nice backpack. Looks very accessorized on her back. I don't remember her having a backpack before. She has got a really cool look, very unique for RTS. I like it a lot. If we look at her Adrenaline Rush, she is going to get a 50% boost per attack, so she's going to do 600% total now rather than 500% total. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Quite a reasonable percentage boost there. 100% total on the boost. Her signature move is not going to get a boost. So it should be her passive. So she's going to get anything that amplifies her damage at all. When performing a decap specialist skill, one enemy gets minus 20% defense for 1 turn. So that should stack with the other 20%. Yeah, when performing the decap specialist skill, one enemy gets minus 40% defense for 1 turn. The downside of this is it is the same turn that she actually performs the decap. So the next turn, this would have worn off. So for Ash herself, she's never going to be able to take advantage of this. But she has got a rush where if she hits one person, let's say there's 2 alive, she hits one person, decaps them on the first rush, or hit off the rush, and the second hit will actually attack the second target, and they will have the defense down in that circumstance. So there are some scenarios where she could take advantage, but most of the time, nope. Okay guys, so this is the part of the video where you can enter for your chance to win a tough gold mythic of your choice. Just like the previous videos, you're going to have to write a little sentence here, and I'm going to switch it up again. I had to think outside the box for this one. So to enter, what you have to write is best tough LB3 question mark got to be, and then you have to put the name of the character that you think it is. Now remember, this doesn't have to all be caps. I've seen a lot of people doing all caps. It is not capital letter sensitive, so do not worry about that. The only thing you have to make sure is you've got the punctuation correct. Sometimes I see people using 2 spaces in the middle of this by accident, or you might not use the question mark. Everything has to be as you see it on the screen right now. If you do enter the giveaway, best of luck. Now back to the Tough Trait Limit Break 3 previews. Uncle Sam, a lot of people have managed to get their hands on this character just because he was part of the, Merciless War depot, and also part of the Battle Pass. I myself managed to get enough of him to get him to Limit Break 3 ready, so it's going to be interesting. Visually you can see he gets the full upgrades here. He's got I'm not even sure what he's got. What is in, are they binoculars or some, I don't even know. I don't know if I want to put my eyes on those. They could potentially be like grenades or something, I don't know. But he's going to get the visuals. We're going to see if he gets a rush upgrade. Hopefully not, he is. It's going to be 20% healing bonus. I guess it's not too bad. He gets a 70% heal for 4 turns. So it's not, I guess it's not too bad. Let me look at his signature move, which is a turn 2. He is going to get a boost here, and he's just going to get a 10% defense boost for 4 turns. So he's not going to get a passive upgrade. And I think that's where the majority of Uncle Sam's power was in his passives. You didn't really want him to do his signature move. His rush was decent just because of the burn, but generally speaking, you want his passives to keep him alive a bit better. And I guess you could say his signature move is doing that to a certain extent just because of the defense boost. But yeah, honestly, when I attack teams with him on, when he does his signature move turn 2, I'm happy. It gives me a chance to attack someone else. So I don't like that this is only a turn 2 signature move personally. Gold Mythic Cliff is up next, and he is a character that I think a lot of people have got their hands on in recent times. He was part of a battle pass a couple of battle passes ago, and I think he was part of the Kingdom event, part of the wheel from that, I think. So maybe some people got their hands on him, and I think he was part of like a Kingdom Grey Market event. I actually picked him over Zachary just because he was harder to come by at the time, and I assumed he wasn't going to go into gold medals in the museum. Well, he's now definitely not going to go into gold medals in the museum. If we check out his adrenaline rush upgrade, we can see that he gets a 20% defense up boost and 20% healing boost if you upgrade it with military supplies. So overall he gets 60% bonus HP, 60% self-heal, and 60% defense. This is honestly really good if he gets it off. Now the downside of this rush upgrade is it's most likely he's not going to have a signature move or a passive upgrade, just because that's counted as 2 upgrades. Unfortunately, we saw that with Romanov, and that's the way it is. So we'll look at his passives. Indeed, it is going to be counted as 2 upgrades, which is a shame. I think that's a shame. It would have been nice, obviously, if he got Protection 2, which he definitely could have got, where he gets 30% bonus HP and make it like 50% when he performs the Bodyguard Specialist. But yeah, I mean, I guess most people will be reasonably happy with that. If he does get his rush off, he's very hard to take down, and he's got a lot of upgrades on this rush, like 20% all over the place. So 60% of all of the boosts, and he also recovers from infection if he gets that rush off. So yeah, I mean, he would probably anyway just because of the heal, but if he did have a heal reduction, at least he's guaranteed to recover from infection. I think he's one of the only characters that actually has that in his kit, so that's actually kind of interesting. Laurie 2000, we're going to check her out. Visually, she gets a big upgrade on the spikes. I think there's just extra spikes everywhere. Her hands looking pretty nasty, and very witch-like, you know, those long fingers, not very nice. We're going to look at the Adrenaline Rush upgrade. She gets +1 turn of impair on her Adrenaline Rush, so the character gets impaired for 3 turns now rather than 2. I guess that's okay. She is a controller, that's kind of what you would want, I guess. She does not get a boost to her signature move at all, and we'll check out her passives. She's going to get a boost to Futuristic Battle Tactics 2. When killing a target, all teammates get 40% main resistance for 1 turn. I guess against particular teams, maybe in Challenge Run, this could be reasonable. So that's 80%, but she's got to get the kill. If it was anyone on your team that got it, this would be actually decent. But if it's actually her who has to get the takedown, it's not as good, obviously. She's kind of was introduced into the game, I think, as a Gold Mythic Governor counter. The Outlast Gov, and I guess she can do the job. They're just, the thing is, you only get 5 characters to use, and she's taking up quite a big spot on a team to just counter 1 character that may not even be there. So that was always the issue with Laurie 2000. She has been decent on Challenge Run for my usage, but not decent enough to upgrade her skills so far. Just decent enough to use her as a neutralized character. Now we have Konrad, who is a very interesting leader, obviously giving the Guardian Shields to his teammates. I think he gets the hat as a Limit Break 3 character here. Maybe the baton across the back, maybe some extra pouches. Very accessorized. Every character just gets a couple of accessories. I like it, We're going to look at the Adrenaline Rush. If it gets an upgrade, it is. He's actually going to do damage to another target. So he does 500 damage to up to 2 enemies now. That's actually a massive increase. You know, imagine he's like 500% extra damage on the rush. That's basically what he just got. He's going to do it to 2 enemies. And then it's up to 2 damage roll teammates recover from attack down, and up to 2 damage roll teammates get Guardian Shield. I guess you could potentially see that it was maybe, you know, kind of easy to guess that they potentially could have had an extra target here. But that, I'd say you'd be happy with most characters getting an extra target on the rush. Now, obviously, the second target is pure RNG. Whoever you focus will be 1 target, and then the second target will be pure RNG. He's actually going to get a boost to his signature move as well, and it is a turn 2 signature move, and it's going to be 250% instead of 150%. This isn't actually too bad, I guess, but yeah, I mean, I guess you'd want him to remove more positive effects, maybe from like a line of enemies, or that would have been cool if this changed to line damage, 150% to a line, and a line of enemies got cleansed. It should mean that he doesn't have a passive upgrade. He does not, indeed. So a lot of damage boost on this character as a support character, but they aren't too bad, I guess. Especially the rush. The 2 hits of 500% now instead of 1 is a big boost. Andrea 2000 with the big gun is up next, and she gets a cape. I'm pretty sure she didn't have the cape beforehand. So visually she looks pretty cool, exactly like how you see her on the left hand side. If we look at her skills at her rush. She doesn't get any boost to her rush. Her rush is actually pretty decent as it is. I don't think it needed any boosts realistically. Now her signature move is going to get a boost, and she's going to have 20% extra stun and impair resistance, so nothing too crazy. This does obviously mean you don't need stun and impair resist mods, because you can just rely on this to give her the resistance. 60% is okay, you know, it's okay. It's not great, but it's definitely better than 40% for sure. In terms of just like anything above 50% is nice compared to anything below. It just looks better. If we look at her rush, her passive upgrades, she's going to get electrical burns too. When attacking, apply 10% of this character's attack as burn to up to 2 enemies for 2 turns. So her burn is actually going to get boosted, and that is going to be a 25% boost overall. When attacking, apply 25% of this character's attack as burn to up to 2 enemies for 2 turns. Now, Burn and Bleed is kind of got like absolutely destroyed for raids and war and so on and so forth. But there is potential this could be used in other game modes. You know, if we ever do get hordes back, I think Burn's going to be really hard to deal with when it comes to characters. When it comes to walkers, and especially as she can apply it so many times, because if she gets her rush off, it applies this every single time she rushes. It's pretty crazy. Now we have Gold Mythic Davie, and we are going to see what upgrades he gets. Like visually, he gets a couple of upgrades you don't actually see on the left hand side. Like he gets a wrench in the quiver, or the golf caddy thing. So some things he's going to get added that you don't see on the left hand side as much. But yeah, he's got so much going on. I remember reviewing this character, it was just like, what is going on with this guy? He doesn't get a rush upgrade at all, so he could potentially get a big boost on his signature move. And it is going to be an extra 25% conditional damage. So that does mean he'll do an extra 100% damage if the target is a damage roll character. A 300% damage hit is not actually that bad, and because there is conditional damage here, I think he would try to focus a damage dealer over a non-damage dealer, and generally speaking could potentially hit them quite hard with that. He should get a passive upgrade as well, and he is going to get, at the start of each turn, 20% chance to heal this character by 60% of their max HP. So I think that goes up to 50% total. At the start of each turn, 50% chance to heal this character by 60% of their max HP. That's obviously a big boost for Davie when, you know, this is probably one of his more powerful passive skills, because if he is full HP, that 60% gets converted via his overheal 2 and gets spread around his team with bonus HP. So yeah, you don't like this going off. You like this going off if you've got him on your team. You don't like this going off if you do not, however. Now, Andre, as the challenge run character, does get a limit break 3, just like the other challenge run characters we've already checked out in Fast and Strong. Visually, he gets a few more grenades, I think, a few more things attached to him. And he visually looks pretty cool. No dynamite, no dynamite, unfortunately for him. We'll check out his Adrenaline Rush. It isn't going to get the upgrade, which I'm pretty happy about. I don't think his Adrenaline Rush is that important for his kit. It's mainly his passives, but we'll check out what he has as a signature move. And he gets 150% damage increase on a turn 2 signature move, which now does 300% damage to one enemy. I think that does more damage than his rush does. It does, to a single enemy, it does more damage. This character also recovers from all penalties, so that's going to remain the same, obviously. But that's quite a big improvement over the pre-Limit Break 3 signature move. And his passive is going to get help up to, when triggering the Payback Specialist skill, revive one teammate with 40% of their max HP. Does this mean it's just going to be more HP? When triggering the Payback Specialist skill, revive one teammate with 80% of their max HP. So it is obviously based on someone actually triggering Payback. But if they do, and there's someone who's down who isn't decapped, they're going to have 80% of their max HP. And a lot of the time that's going to be, you know, 35,000 plus a lot of the time. And that's a lot of HP to have to just take down again. Gold Mythic Eva is up now, and we can see visually, I don't think there's too much difference between her now and Limit Break 2. Maybe just a couple of extra pouches. The posture's the same, you know, the way she's standing, or not standing, should I say. We're going to check out her Adrenaline Rush upgrade, and she's going to get a huge boost. She's going to get a 500% conditional damage boost, just like her grade 4 upgrade. So now she does 2000% damage to an enemy if they are in the middle slot, i.e. if they are the leader of a defense team. This is actually insane amounts of damage. Insane. Crazy. 2000 is a lot. 500% otherwise, but 2000% conditional. Next up, we'll check out her signature move. And this is not going to get a boost. So she's going to get a boost on her passives. And we'll see what that's going to be. And it is stealing the advantage 2 when attacking, 50% chance to steal a positive status effect from the enemy. Does this mean 2 effects or 100% chance? When attacking, 100% chance to steal a positive status from the enemy. So she basically has Ransack as a tough character. This could be interesting. This could be interesting. You know, you can steal things like heal over time, elusive, you know, things that are going to stop certain things happening for your teammates. In Conquest, this is going to be quite useful. Challenge run. Potentially in raids, if you have to manual at any point, or like the first couple of turns, if someone's got a nice buff off of the early turns, if a character comes out where it's like they can boost their own damage by 50% turn 1, she could steal that and she's going to get that boost. So actually not too bad. It's a guarantee of her stealing this sort of thing. Now Gold Mythic Vance gets his helmet as a Limit Break 3 character, which looks really cool. I kind of felt that it was going to get that on the left hand side. Let's check out his Adrenaline Rush boost. And he is not going to get any boost to his Adrenaline Rush, but it means he should get a boost to his signature move, and he's going to do an extra 50% damage with his signature move. I think most people would be quite disappointed with this, just because it's giving damage boost to a medic. Not exactly what he would need. I think most people would have preferred if the Taunt did more turns, but obviously that would have been 2 for 3. I mean, we've seen, off of turn 1, that would actually be pretty bad. Like in terms of power, maybe cooldown -1. I think maybe the rush could have been improved over the signature move. I think the signature move was already pretty good, but it's going to get a little boost. What is he going to get for his passive upgrade? He is going to get, when being attacked, heal one other teammate by 30% of their max HP. That is going to be Selfless 2, and I believe that goes up to 60% total. Yeah, Selfless, when being attacked, heal one other teammate by 60% of their max HP. This is actually obviously pretty good, not too bad at all, and that's going to generally heal the person who's on lowest HP, although that has been a bit weird recently, but I think generally speaking it should heal the person who is on the lowest amount of HP. Okay, so the last character we're going to take a look at is Gold Mythic Thanksgiving Tyreese. He is the last tough trait character, of course. Visually he gets some corn on the far right hand side, his left hand side. You can sort of see it's just like hanging there. I think even the turkey maybe gets a visual upgrade. I'm not 100% certain. But we'll check out what he gets as a boost on his Adrenaline Rush. He's going to get a +1 duration for the stun. So it's going to be up to 2 enemies get stunned for 2 turns rather than 1 turn. I think the upgrades on this has been kind of underwhelming, if I'm honest. You know, no early grade upgrades. It could have potentially had more damage. He is a controller, but you know, more damage is always nice, honestly, as long as it's doing decent control. And 2 for 2 is decent, but I think there could have been like a grade 3 or grade 4, like 50% per attack boost or something like that. If we look at his signature move, he isn't going to get any boost here at all, so his signature move is all done. And if we look at his passives, he gets Foul Play 2. When this character kills an enemy, 30% chance up to 2 enemies get impaired for 2 turns. This is going to stack with the first half, and it should be 60% total, as you see at the top. When this character kills an enemy, 60% chance, up to 2 enemies get impaired for 2 turns. This is pretty decent, but it is not like hard control, and he has to get the takedown himself over other characters. It isn't necessarily that he can't get a takedown, it's just the fact that if you hit auto, he has to get the takedown. If it was like 1 enemy gets impaired, regardless of who gets the kill, and it was 60% chance, I would prefer that personally, because that would actually work a bit better in how a lot of people want to play. This one, you'd have to make sure he gets the takedown, and it would slow things down. So that is it for the previews for the tough Gold Mythic characters, Limit Break 3 upgrades, And just like the fast and the strong one I've done already, if you do enter the giveaway, make sure you follow the instructions in the video. I have had some people writing the wrong things on previous videos. I do try and tell people, but there's a lot of comments and some of them I'm going to miss, so make sure you get it right. You can go back and enter the fast and strong videos if you want to as well. I'll be drawing all of the giveaways in the same stream sometime in early December. Now feel free to leave your general thoughts about the tough upgrades in the comments down below, guys. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.